Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Educational Gamer and we are playing Strategic Command, trying desperately to hold on to France as the allies and failing to do so against the Nazi onslaught. So I'm actually impressed by the AI and how it's attacking over here, but even though we've held out longer than historically the French did, so I do count that as a success, even though we are being badly mauled. And actually scrambling to get our UK forces out of France, because there's no way we can hold that. The front just has collapsed entirely in the north. So let's see how that works. At least we are getting a couple more fortresses over here, so that's nice to see, but it's not going to save us at all. Logistics development for the UK, that's nice to see. Some new production technology, that's actually very helpful for the UK, certainly. Advanced fighters in the Soviet Union, that's nice to see. Bit of income, we are lacking a little bit of income as the UK, but other than that everything seems to be going on alright. Except of course for the fact that there are a lot of Germans in Europe and a lot of Japanese still in Far East Asia. So let's look at their advances over here. Reinforcements happening at a parts of the line, that's okay to see. Very soon we are going to see their aerial bombardments, I guess. And that includes a couple of carriers off the Japanese coast. Ooh! Some naval contacts over here. Yeah, and I think after that we will see, yeah, there go the enemy bombers. And while I wasn't too keen on these AA guns first, they do seem to be doing a fairly good job actually at disrupting some enemy bomber formations, so that is good to see. Also our interceptors based in the UK over here are doing a good job. And that wasn't too great either. Okay. Yeah, Japan is really pushing up strongly in the north. They defeated 2 of our armies over here. So they are getting... God damn it. There goes our UK army. That is such a pity. I had expected that they could hold, maybe. I really had. That is very frightening. Just look at all these Germans. So many of them. It's just impossible to get a hold of them. I mean, even this corps is under threat now. I noticed the AI typically doesn't seem to attack as long as it doesn't think it can potentially eliminate a unit entirely. So when they start attacking like that, it's very likely that they will be able to molest it completely. Or at the very least nearly so. So yeah. I'm not sure whether the invasion of France over here can count as, or the defense of France I should say, can count as a success anymore, because of the losses that we are taking. They are pretty massive, and I don't think that's a good sign for us. German headquarter units, Italian headquarter. Ooh, an Italian headquarter. That I think is maybe one of the reasons why we're seeing such a problematic approach here in East Africa. Yeah, but at least these guys have held out this time, so that is good to see. French troops panic, yeah. German morale is boosted. We are disrupting the supplies of Germany, but not to a very high degree. It's actually very small chances that we are taking over there. But our turn starts, and that does mean we can look at certain things. It is very unfortunate that we are losing out so much. Oh, look at that, so many German units. More intel. Yeah, some reports coming in, all of that is nice. Okay, so let's start out in China this time. Let's start out in southern China again. So... yeah, these guys are starting to be entrenched. Okay, first off, we are taking the attack against the headquarter, because that is always nice. Let's try to cause some damage there and cause them to be unentrenched. Yeah, that wasn't enough. And then over here, this army should really be upgraded so that it is much better against any enemy target. Can you be upgraded? You cannot. Could pull you in, but I think I'd rather pull you back. Over here, this garrison unit is still being attacked by us. And at some point we will be able to throw them back. Okay, so these guys simply are withdrawing so that they can be reinforced later on. All of these guys down here have moved, in fact, already. So that does leave us in the center over here. It looks like we can start to push back against these guys. So, in fact, I think that's something that usually we'd want to do. And these guys again can be upgraded with renewed weaponry. Yeah, and that is something that is a sensible thing to do. This corps up here could attack Wuhan. And I think that's a good choice so that we are able to make some progress over here. This army could fall entirely. Bring up the special forces over here, attack Wuhan. Nice, that is good going. You could come in here. So I think it makes sense to attack this target first. Ah, we nearly managed to destroy them totally. Okay, let's shatter these units. That's very nice. They are very low on supplies, so that does mean that if we can destroy them, they'll not be able to replace them. There we go, big national morale boost. And you can actually occupy Wuhan. So we can start to draw the supplies from over there. And that means we can also upgrade this unit, which is pretty fantastic. These guys, I think, attacked already. But we can bring you up down here. That should be alright. You moved. We can push in a little bit over here, since you can't be upgraded. On the other hand, we could save you and keep you back. And that might not be the worst. Bring you guys up over here. Oh, if you can do some damage, that's good. And that's pretty lovely, actually. So, yeah, some good progress down here. This army, I do want to bring it over here, I think, just so that we have two heavy hitters. Although this is another army, and we are lacking some forces up there in the north, so yeah, that's a good idea, I think, like that. You could move a little bit back. That would allow you to move in, and you can be upgraded next time. You are fairly well positioned. That does leave us with a couple of questions over here. So first off, reinforce you. Reinforce you. Pull you back so you can be upgraded. Pull you in. You're fine where you are. Push you up. That's fine. Yeah, so we are stable over here, I would say. You need to be reinforced. Do we want to pull you back? No one else here can really move, though. You should be coming up a little bit towards the front. These engineers. We could bring you down here and cover that flank. Thing is, I would like to upgrade this army, so yeah, let's move it back. That's fine. You're fine. You need to be upgraded, so it's okay to keep you back a little. Yeah, and everyone else here is okay too. Yeah, so that does leave a little bit of money for national China. And one thing I could think about is replacing some of the losses that we had, especially in terms of armies. Yeah, 165 points, that's perfect. So yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. It's gonna be ready in 2 turns, and that's a fairly good choice. Right, and other than that we simply can't do much for the lack of money and all that, so yeah, it's okay. And indeed it is nice to get Wuhan back. It should also improve our national morale, and that is fairly lovely. And then these engineers, I don't think we need to move them up. This army, so experienced and still has so many losses. Again, we could do some attacks over here just to spoil them a little bit. But with the constant air attacks over here, I think I'm feeling like we could keep open these roads a little bit longer. You guys are fine, aren't you? Yeah, you need to be reinforced and upgraded and all of that. Did move you too far out of supply. The next one we can reinforce there. Good. Let's have a look at the war in Europe. So I think the first thing that we are going to do over here is transport away the British forces back to Britain, and that should be fine and lovely. And these fighters actually need to be upgraded, and that should be one of our number one priorities. And these fighters need to be reinforced. I think that is the best that we can do to delay the inevitable really a little bit longer, and try to keep the French out of play as much as we can. Sorry, the French in the game as far as we can. Okay, all of these forces need to come back really. They will expose them to a lot more attack, simply by virtue of them not being in fortresses any longer, but it does mean that we can try to at least form a little bit more of a coherent line over here. And we might want to swap you around. So move you up over there, you can move into Paris, and these bombers, you're kind of pointless. Let's see whether you can survive in the UK. I kind of doubt it, but it might be alright. Okay, so other than that we can't reinforce any of you, there's not really much that we can do. Yeah, again, the game really nicely conveys the sense of loss over here. Let's try to demoralize these French tanks. Can't do that. Okay, so since we do need to spend some money, let's at least reinforce these guys down here in Marseille, so they can be a little bit better. And conduct more raids against the French, because of course we're gonna do that. Sorry, Italians. I'm really struggling to find the Italian Navy though, which is interesting to see. Okay, down here in Africa. I guess we can soften your defenses, even though you're not truly entrenched. Could bomb you. I think that's a good idea. Okay, we need to reinforce you next time. That's a very good attack. That's not such a good attack. Can I move you up quite far actually? So even the anti-tank armies didn't do too much. Let's try to force the attack over here. God damn it, yeah, we are losing units. But at least we are expanding our reach over here. Okay, so lastly, command the carriers. Just do 1 point of damage. God damn it. Could move you out. Can we move you back and you back a little? Okay, you can't even attack. And I can't remove you. Okay, that was a very bad move. Okay, still next time it might fall, so that's alright then. Let's see down here. We need to reinforce these guys so that these guys can ultimately be reinforced, even though you can't do that now. Can move up the garrison. Threaten the situation up there. Maybe connect these two areas. It's good to see. Why can't we reinforce you? Is the supply really that bad over here? It is. The only supply is coming from over here. That's only a 5. Why are you not actually covering that? It should be, I think. Yeah, but... yeah, I think we do need Addis Ababa. It is this potentially strongest supply line that we can muster up here. Yeah, likewise, you have very low supply over here. Just 3 points. Still, good defense. Good attack. Yeah, other than that, well, I guess we need some bombers maybe down here. Let's see about that soon. Okay, other than that, these light cruisers. No Italians, no signs of any Italians. Interesting. Very curious. Can we upgrade anything on the carrier? Yeah, we can. And that might actually be a good move. Let's do that. These battle cruisers, the Hood, of course famously sunk historically. But over here everything's alright. Let's bring in the French battleship. Goes towards the Italians. These heavy cruisers. We do know that there's a German heavy cruiser loose somewhere in the North Atlantic. But more importantly, we have spotted these submarines. And is there any way how I could reach you? Well, the carrier can. Submarine dives from attack, okay. Probably it's gonna dive away. So it might be over here. Somewhere? There. We could attack. Let's attack again with the carrier. I do hope that it's gonna go over here. Which it doesn't. So we could attack it with our destroyers. A little bit more strongly. But apparently we can't, so let's try to at least box it in over there across Iceland so that it can't move out of there at the very least. Right, that should be alright. Destroyers, I think that's only AA and naval weaponry. Yeah, I'm not interested in upgrading your naval weaponry, but I am interested in reinforcing these guys to the max. Yeah. And then these light cruisers do need to come home as well, so that they can be upgraded next time. Do we see the heavy cruiser anywhere? Not really. I wonder where it is. I really do. Well, well. Okay, so anything else over here? No, yeah, this one down there. Keep on forgetting this one. Let's bring you home as quickly as we can. That should be alright. Then anything else down here? You're fine, Portsmouth, I guess. You should probably... Come on. Okay, sometimes it just backs out. There is fine for you. Bring over here, bomb this German army. Not sure whether that does cause you to gain any experience, but if it does, it is worthwhile, so should be alright. Even attacking here is just horrendously stupid for us. Look at how much we'd be losing by attacking. Yeah, well, France has fallen. That is for sure. And there's not much we can do about that. Belfast, fine. Oh, the heavy battle cruiser. Still trying to find the heavy cruiser. Heavy cruiser then. Light cruiser. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be much point in attacking with you submarine. Does leave our battleship over here, sorry, our carrier, which cannot be upgraded, which is a good sign. Let's try to find someone. Not that it really matters. Okay, fine. Good. UK does have some points left. I'm gonna... no, not the strategic bombers. The tactical bombers over here, they should be reinforced. Because they are pretty good at repulsing a naval attack as well. So that should be fine, actually. Good. I think that we have dealt with China. We've dealt with the European theatre. East Africa. Doesn't make sense to move anywhere else. Do we have supplies anywhere else? No. No supplies whatsoever. Yeah, I think the game does model that kind of nicely. So I have to say that is a decent way of putting all of that up there. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm also happy with seeing how that falls. I do think we can move around our Soviet forces, and indeed we should also place our new units. Oh, including the Corps in France, obviously. Totally forgot about that. But I think it would make the most sense to bolster our defenses around Paris, although you're certainly going to be annihilated over here. Halifax, yeah, you need to come over manually at some point. And there we go, the USSR forces. A mechanized unit. So mechanized units can attack twice every turn, and of course they are highly mobile, so I think it makes a little bit more sense to place our mobile forces down here in the Ukraine, so that we can use that position a little bit more wisely. And then the next questions are where we should be placing our engineers and start reinforcing some positions. So remembering that we cannot reinforce cities themselves, I still do think that it makes a lot of sense to reinforce some positions that are sort of have a crossroads character, and that would be important for us to defend against enemy crossings and all of that kind of thing. So over here I'm slightly concerned about Tarnopol and indeed the supply situation up here. I think we could also try to stop the Germans a little bit close towards, let's say, areas like Minsk. Even Brest-Litovsk, it would be good to provide a position over here so that we couldn't be flanked quite as easily. That river up here might be nice as well. So you know what? Actually, can we move you, let's say, up there, and then the engineers might be placed down here, and we will tell the engineers to please engineer a fortress in this direction. Yeah, I think that's fine. So yeah, that's a good result to me. Good. You need to be reinforced because you're a headquarter unit, and headquarter units do simply need to be reinforced. Good. Over here, I think we can defend like such. That might not be the worst. Position our AA over there. Try to defend Vilnius. And this army then should potentially be down here. Yeah, at the very least defend sort of the back lines. I should probably do 3. That's too late now. Okay, and then sort of get a little bit coherent vision up there. Place you over there, that should be alright. You in Kiev, you in Lvov. Let's bring you up to Tarnopol. This garrison is fine. Yeah, all of the other ones seem to be fine, except you need to be over here. And that's okay then. So that does leave this tank army slowly but surely coming over, saving us a couple of points by moving up slowly instead of fastly. I think that does mean we should probably be purchasing more units as the USSR. Maritime bombers, destroyers, certainly not anti-air. I'm tempted to use anti-air units because the Germans did seem to have some problems with that. But then again, our forces are so spread out that somehow it doesn't make too much sense. More corps simply to spread out our units a little bit more. Engineers, we have spent all that we can, so can't do that. So you know what, we might actually just want to save up here. Although I do think some upgrades might be worthwhile. Oh, didn't actually mean to click over there. Yeah, let's hold off that for now because I don't think the Germans will attack this year, and we might save up the points so that we can buy something rather than spend it now. Good. Yeah, that does leave only India. Do we want to purchase anything as India then? Sorry, India. We could buy an army, which might not be the worst. Special forces, heavy artillery. Do you think we even have the? No, we don't. Yeah, you know what? Let's get an army for the Indians, and I think that's going to be alright. And for the US, I think still research might be the way to go. We are spending on naval weaponry, long-range aircraft. We might actually want to increase that. Although advanced fighters as well. I mean, we are expecting the Japanese especially. I mean, advanced fighters are certainly going to be useful in any circumstance. So yeah. No. We want to spend more, not less. That should be that. 150 anti-submarine warfare, no. Spying and intel, yes, but we can't really spend any more on that. Command and control, infantry warfare, all of these would be good. Mobility we have, so that's nice. Yeah, so I don't think we need anything else in terms of spending for the US, so I think that's fine. And yeah, that does leave us with a little bit time left, so I think that's a good call. Actually, this is a battle cruiser. Might actually be one of the old German battle cruisers, the old battleships like the Eisenhower, I think it was, that opened the Battle of the Atlantic. Opened the World War by shelling the Western Flotte in Danzig. At least according to historical canon, even though that might not be the most reliable. We do have a battlecruiser down here that's not upgraded at all. I think I would at least like to give you a more modern naval weaponry. And at some point we might need to put some naval forces towards Singapore so we can start to defend a little bit better over there, and that might be alright. We should also start to purchase a little bit as France, so that at the very least we are not losing out these national supply points if the Germans actually manage to take over. So all in all, I think a good turn. We did manage to destroy some Japanese over here. We are losing in France, but that is to some extent to be expected, so I'm not too phased by that, although Paris is certainly threatened, and we are moving towards the end of the year, and it's disheartening to see us being overrun that hard, but not much that we can do. I wish we could have pulled out a little bit more of the UK forces, especially the British Expeditionary Force army. We didn't manage to do that, but yeah, so's life sometimes. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.